It was a crisp October morning in 2023 when Daniel Harper, a retired Marine Corps intelligence officer, rolled into Maple Grove, a quiet neighborhood in Fairview, Oregon. My son, Ethan, and his 12-year-old daughter, Lily, were with me, hauling boxes from a U-Haul parked in the driveway of our new home at 423 Pinewood Lane. After years of cramped apartment life post-divorce, Ethan had found a place for Lily to call home, a place the realtor swore had no homeowners association. A deal-breaker for me after 25 years dodging petty tyrants in uniform. I'd had enough of clipboard-wielding bureaucrats thinking they ran the world. But before we could unpack the first box, Margaret Sullivan appeared, striding across the street like she owned the whole damn block, clutching a clipboard to her chest. Her proud Army wife t-shirt screaming performative patriotism. A flag pin gleamed on her collar, catching the sunlight. Her smile sharp enough to cut glass. "Welcome to our wonderful community." Margaret's voice had that syrupy tone that sets off alarms in anyone who's ever sat through an interrogation. "I'm Margaret Sullivan, president of the Crestview HOA. We're thrilled to expand our governance to include Pinewood families." I shook her hand, because my mama raised me polite. But 25 years sniffing out lies told me she was trouble. "Daniel Harper," I said, keeping my tone even. "There's been a mix-up. We bought here because there's no HOA." Her smile didn't flinch, like a seasoned con artist who'd heard every objection. "Oh, boundaries are being redrawn for everyone's benefit," she said. "My husband, Robert, served 3 tours in Iraq with the 1st Infantry Division. Military families stick together. You know." That hit me like a sucker punch. 1st Infantry Division. Army folks don't talk like that. It's first ID or just Big Red One. Her terminology was off, like a civilian playing soldier. Any real spouse would know better. I could have called her out, but intelligence work taught me to play dumb and let liars dig their own graves. So I smiled back. "Impressive service," I said. "Fishing. What years did the colonel deploy?" Notice I said colonel, she hadn't mentioned rank. But real spouses drop it like a badge. Margaret lit up. 2014 to 2017. Mostly classified ops. You know how it is. Oh, I knew. Classified ops. That's what civilians say when they're winging it. Those years meant Syria, not Iraq. For the first ID. She'd just lied to a man who spent decades catching those lies. I let it slide, watching Lily bounce out with a box of my old Marine gear. "Grandpa, where's this going?" she asked, then spotted Margaret. "Oh, hi. Are you our neighbor?" Margaret crouched to Lily's level, her smile turning predatory. "Your grandpa's a Marine. How special." "My husband's a hero too. Here, sweetie, a bracelet for military kids." She handed Lily a cheap plastic band stamped, "Heroes Kids Shine." Lily's eyes sparkled. "Can I join the youth group, Grandpa?" My stomach sank. Margaret was weaponizing my granddaughter's innocence, building a pressure point to exploit. That night, I checked our deed for 23 Pinewood Lane. No HOA. Clear as day. This wasn't outreach. It was a shakedown. A quick search on Margaret revealed a social media shrine to military spouse life veteran memorials. Charity runs. That flag pin always front and center. Too perfect. Like she'd Googled Patriot aesthetic and hit copy-paste. The Crestview HOA board page showed 4 faces. Margaret, president. Robert, vice president. Susan Carter, treasurer. And James Reed, secretary. All draped in military pride. Statistically, that many veteran ties in one suburban board. Damn near impossible. By Monday, The first violation notice arrived. Bold as brass, grass at 4.2 inches. Exceeding community standards. Fine, $500. I measured the lawn myself, 3 inches. We just moved in. The grass hadn't had time to grow. This was about control, not landscaping. Tuesday brought another. Ethan's pickup parked, in violation of expansion rules. Another $500. We hadn't signed any rules, because they didn't exist. Margaret was inventing violations faster than a drill sergeant yelling at recruits. Wednesday, Lily came home sobbing, mascara streaking her cheeks. Kids say we hate veterans. She cried. They won't sit with me because we're mean to Mrs. Sullivan, who helps Army families. Margaret had turned the school's parent network into a weapon, making my granddaughter a pariah for our refusal to pay her extortion. Thursday morning, an unmarked envelope under the doormat changed everything. Inside, a photo of Robert Sullivan in Army National Guard gear. Iraq patch from 2004. Not 3 Iraq tours. A note read, "Not everyone supports her tactics." Robert was breaking ranks. Friday, I spotted him at the grocery store, loading pricey craft beer, hands trembling like he'd seen ghosts. Rough week? I asked, casual as could be. He flinched, nearly dropping a 6-pack. Yeah, you know, he mumbled, avoiding my eyes. Iraq deployments were tough. I said, testing. Worse than Syria. He blurted, then froze, realizing his slip. I mean, both were bad. He bolted, but his license Platino veteran tag. No Purple Heart marker confirmed Margaret's lies. Saturday's mail brought another bombshell, a note in a pizza flyer. Margaret's books are fake. $90. 000 stolen. No county expansion filed. Susan, the treasurer, with a rap sheet for fraud, was turning on her boss. By Sunday, Ethan was on edge, taking calls in the garage. Voice low. Lily stayed in her room, clutching that bracelet. Cyber-bullied by Margaret's son, Tyler, a 19-year-old dropout, sending doctored photos to humiliate her. Ethan snapped, finding Lily sobbing in the bathroom. I'm calling Margaret, he said, dialing. We're signing her papers tomorrow. His voice broke, but something in his eyes didn't add up. Was he broken, or playing a deeper game? That night, another note from Robert, meet me. 6 a.m. Fairview Park. Alone. I have evidence to end this. But Ethan's not what you think. My son. A traitor. Or a strategist. I watched his bedroom light. His shadow pacing. Phone in hand. Every instinct screamed deception. But whose? At dawn, Fairview Park was shrouded in fog. Robert appeared. Paranoid. Clutching a folder. Margaret doesn't know I'm here, he whispered, spreading divorce papers dated weeks ago. Ethan contacted me Tuesday. He found no county expansion records and reached out to Detective Emily Hayes. My son wasn't surrendering. He was baiting a trap with the sheriff's fraud unit. Robert handed over bank statements, texts, and recordings of Margaret's fraud $180,000 stolen from 15 families. The plan, I'd wear a wire Monday. Get Margaret to confess at a signing ceremony. Ethan had been feeding her ego, acting defeated, while coordinating with Hayes. Tyler's cyber threats, already tracked by the cyber crimes unit. Sunday night. A text from an unknown number. Know about your wire. Tyler hacked Hayes' email. Sign, or Lily's photos go viral, and you're arrested for threats. Panic hit. Then Ethan texted, it's a fake email we set up. They think they're ahead. But we've got them. My son had outplayed a criminal mastermind. Monday, 7 a.m. Detective Hayes wired me with military-grade tech, invisible under my collar. At 8, Margaret called 911, claiming I'd threatened her usual scare tactic. But the responding deputies were in on the sting. At 9, we met at the Fairview Community Center. Margaret, Susan, and James sat smugly, Tyler filming by the door. I played broken, asking about the expansion's legality. Margaret smirked. County doesn't need to meddle in community agreements. Confession 1. The $2,000 fees. I pressed. Standard for maintenance. She lied. Confession 2. You pressure families. Like Lily's school issues. Her grin was venomous. Community education works wonders, especially with kids involved. Confession 3. Sheriff's deputies stormed in. Margaret Sullivan, you're under arrest for fraud, extortion, and false reporting, Hayes announced, playing Margaret's confessions. Her face crumpled as Susan demanded immunity. James offered recordings, and Robert submitted evidence. Divorce papers included. Tyler's laptop was seized. His cyber crimes exposed. Margaret screamed betrayal, but handcuffs silenced her. Later, Hayes revealed Margaret's role in a 3-county HOA fraud ring, targeting 800 families for $4 million. The FBI joined, sniffing RICO violations. Trials followed. Margaret got 15 years. Susan probation. Tyler juvenile charges. New laws mandated HOA audits and background checks. Lily's essay on courage won statewide praise. Ethan got promoted, and I watched them plant a garden, free from Margaret's tyranny. Was it worth it? Fighting a suburban dictator who hid behind a flag pin. Did we go too far exposing a criminal network? Or not far enough? Should we have paid to protect Lily's peace? Or was standing up the only way to stop bullies like Margaret? Comment below. Share your HOA nightmares. And subscribe for more stories of justice outwitting arrogance.